Hi students, my name is Hitesh Narashet. I am from Anara. So last class we discussed about a topic from 9th standard, that is lines and angles. In lines and angles we already discussed about what is meant by lines, what are types of lines, and also we discussed about angles and their types. And in last classes we discussed about pair of lines and related axioms. So in that we discussed about axiom 6.1, axiom 6.2 and theorem 6.1 and problems based on axioms and theorems. So let us move on to the next topic, that is parallel lines and transversal. It is parallel lines and transversal. Yes, so parallel lines, we already discussed about parallel lines. It's a non-intersecting lines. That means when we extend both the sides of those two lines, so it doesn't intersect up to infinity. So those lines we are calling it as a non-intersecting lines or parallel lines. So here it is a new concept appears here. So that one is a transversal. Transversal is a line. So it's a line intersects two or more lines at distinct points. So let us take transversal. So here I am not taking any parallel lines. Before going to the parallel lines, firstly I will take it's an intersecting type of line. So here it is not intersecting here. So here I am not showing any intersecting point. So it's a type of intersecting lines. So here it is intersect any other points. So here firstly I will take first line like this. Then second line here I am taking like this. So those two are intersecting lines because so when we extend in this side, so it intersects at some other points. So I will name this. Firstly I will name this. So here I am taking it's M and N. So line M and line N here. So here I am taking a transversal. So like this. So this is a transversal. Here line L intersects line M and line N at different points. Here just observe in this point the intersecting point it is. Here it is intersecting point. So here two intersecting point is there. So here it is these two lines are intersecting lines. Line L and line M, those two are intersecting lines. So intersect at this point. And line N and line L are intersecting lines, intersect at this point. So that means a transversal is a line intersects two or more lines at distinct points. So let us take transversal. So transversal. It is a line intersects two or more lines at different points, is known as transversal. So here it is in the diagram, line L intersects line M and N at two different points. So here we have to take line L intersects line M and line N at two different intersecting points are there. When we take 3 lines here, so we have 3 intersecting points. When we have 4 lines, then we have 4 intersecting points. So likewise it continues. So here just observe, when we take any intersecting point, just observe here it is in the one intersecting point is there, here it is another intersecting point is there. So around the intersecting point, so the angle around a point is always 360 degree. But here just observe, here angle around a point, there are 4 angles are formed here. So 360 degree angle, it splits into 4 parts in a one intersecting point. So let us name all the points. So firstly I will take 1, here 2, then here I will take 3, here I will take 4, then. So here this intersecting point also in the transversal. So here around this point, around this intersecting point, so there are 4 angles formed here. So let us name that one. So here it is 5, here it is 6, here it is 7, and here it is 8. So that means when a transversal intersects 2 lines, then 8 angles are formed. When a transversal intersects only 1 line, only 4 angles. When a transversal intersects 2 lines, 8 angles. When a transversal intersects 3 lines, 12 angles. When a transversal intersects 4 lines, then 16 angles. That means in any intersecting point, so we have 4 angles. So that's why how many lines are there? From that relation we can identify how many angles are there. So here around a point, around the intersecting point, there are 4 angles are formed. So likewise it continues. So that means here in this case 2 lines are there. So that means totally 8 angles are formed. So there are 8 angles are there. So what are those? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So let us name that one. So here 8 angles are formed. Named as angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, angle 4, angle 5, angle 6, angle 7 and angle 8. So there are 8 angles formed here. So let us categorize all the angles. So here in this case we have to categorize in the 2 ways. That means one is the interior angles and exterior angles. So interior angles and exterior angles. Another way is the corresponding angles, alternate interior angles, alternate exterior angles, and interior angles on the one side of the transversal. So let us take all. So firstly I will take interior angles and exterior angles. So interior angles is nothing but angles between 2 lines. Angles between 2 lines, within 2 lines. Here angle between, so M and N are 2 lines here. In between 2 lines we have 4 angles, that is 3, 4, 5, 6. In between those 2 angles, so we have 4 angles, that is 3, 4, 5 and 6. So here angle 3, angle 4, then angle 5 and angle 6 are interior angles. Then otherwise it's a exterior angle. That means it's a outside of those lines. So outside angles of line M are 1 and 2. Outside angles of line N are 7 and 8. Those 4 angles are angles of exterior angles. Exterior angles, that means angles outside the 2 lines. So within the 2 lines means it's the interior angles. Outside the 2 lines means, so we have exterior angles. What are the exterior angles here? 1, 2, 7 and 8 are the exterior angles. So here angle 1, angle 2, angle 7 7 and angle 8 are exterior angles. Exterior angles. Yes. So this is about interior angles and exterior angles. So let us move on to the next way of categorizing the angles. In this case of transversal. So let us take one by one. So firstly I will take corresponding angles. Corresponding angles. Corresponding angles. Yes. So here in this case, corresponding angles means, so here 4 and 8 or 1 and 5. 1 and 5 are the corresponding angles. That means, so the angle. So angles are in the one side of the transversal. So one side of the transversal means 1, 4, 5 and 8 are one side of the transversal. That means another side of the transversal means 2, 3, 6 and 7. So here we can categorize into two parts. That is interior angles on this side is, so here angles in one side of the transversal. This side of transversal means 1, 4, 5 and 8. And angles in the one side, another side of the transversal, that is 2, 3, 6 and 7 are the another side. So we can categorize into two here. So in that corresponding angles means, so it must be above the line. So here it is above the line, here it is above the line or below the line. So we have to take, in one case we have to take either it is above the line, in another case, second case, we have to take below the line. So it must be on one side of the transversal and it must be above the line. So we have one pair. In below the line means we have another pair on one side of the transversal. In another side of the transversal, above the line one pair is there and below the line also one pair is there. So let us observe this one. So here one side of the transversal. So here it is one side of the transversal, 1, 4, 5 and 8. So what are the angles that above the line? So 1 and 5 are the above the line and 4 and 8 are the below the line. So here 1 and 5 are the corresponding angles and 4 and 8 are the corresponding angles. Likewise in another side 2 and 6 are the above the line. So that's why we can take 2 and 6 are the corresponding angles and 3 and 7 are the below the line. That's why we have to take 3 and 7 are the corresponding angles. So let us take one technique is there for that identification of those two angles, those pairs of angles. So here I will take the rough part here. So this is the rough part. This is only the rough part. Don't write in the pair. So it is only for categorizing or it is only for recognizing our angles. Here I will take the same as the above. Yes. So here 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. So this is the transversal, the nature of transversal. So when we take corresponding angles, so we have to know about C, the value of C. Yes, like this. In one side of the transversal means, so the angles like this. In another side of the transversal means the angles like this. So here we have to take like this. It is above the line, it is below the line. It is above the line, it is below the line. So it indicates like this. So let us take one side. So how can we take the one side like this? So here we have to take. So this line nothing but these lines. So we have to pass. So that C we have to pass from one line. So here I will take like this. So here like this. So we can take arrow mark. Yes. So here the line like this. Just observe, this is a C and this is a line. So that means here in this case 1 and 5. 1 and 5 are the corresponding angles. That is 1 and 5 are the one pair of corresponding angles. So let us take this one. Yes. So here in this case. Yes. Like this. So here what are the corresponding angles formed here? 2 and 6 are the corresponding angles. 2 and 6. Then let us take this one. Firstly I will rub this part here. Yes. So here in this case I will take this step. It is below the line. For example, here it is a below the line. So I will take like this. Yes. So here 4 and 8. 4 and 8 are corresponding angles. Here 4 and 8. Then so finally this one. So it is below the line. So that's why here I will take like this. 3 and 7 are the corresponding angles. That is 3 and 7 are the corresponding angles. This is the case of corresponding angles. It must be one side of the transversal. Either it is above the line we have one pair, below the line we have another pair. Also in another side of the transversal we have above the line one pair, below the line one pair. So totally in the transversal, this type of transversal we have 4 pairs of corresponding angles. So let us move on to the next type of angle, that is alternate interior angles. Secondly, alternate interior angles. Yes. Initially we have interior angles. What are the interior angles here? Just also 4, 3, 5 and 6 are interior angles. From that only we have to take what are the alternate interior angles. So here it is also one method is there. So alternate interior angles means, so here in this case, so we have to take 4 and 6, 3 and 5. That means here we have to take a line, angle from the one side of the interior angle and another side of the interior angle. So like this. So here 4 and 6 angles from one side of the interior angle to it is below the first line and above the next line. So like that. So either side of the lines we have angles we have to take. Either side of the angles we have to take. But here it is case is there, that is one angle from the one line and another angle from the another line. So likewise we have to take. So here it is another method is there. So we can easily categorize, we can easily recognize what are the alternate interior angles. So firstly I will take A here like this. Just observe. So A. It means, so here I will take like this. So this is a part, this is a technique of identifying or recognizing alternate interior angles. So here 3 and 5 are one pair of alternate interior angle and 4 and 6 are one pair of alternate interior angles. That is, one is the 4 and 6 and second one is the second pair is the 3 and 5. Angle 3 and angle 5. So those two pairs are the alternate interior angles. So let us take alternate exterior angles. Third one is the alternate exterior angles. Alternate exterior angles. Yes. So here it is. So here we have to take one technique. for recognizing those pair of alternate exterior angle. So from the word x, so here I will take x like this. Yes, so here. So that means here it is case. It means x. Exterior angles. From the word x we can easily recognize what are the exterior angles formed here. So we have to take the x here, the form of x here. So like that we can easily recognize what are the alternate exterior angles. So what are the alternate exterior angles are there here? 2 and 8 and 1 and 7. So 2 and 8, angle 2 and angle 8, and angle 1 and angle 7 are the alternate exterior angles. So these are the methods for identifying the corresponding angles and alternate interior angle and alternate exterior angles. So let us take the last categorization of these angles is the interior angles on the one side of the transversal. Interior angles on one side of transversal. So here I will draw this total part here. Yes, transversal. Yes. So interior angles on the one side of the transversal. We have interior angles on the one side of the transversal. What are the angles on the one side of the transversal? So 1, 4, 5 and 8, and another side means 2, 3, 6 and 7. So those angles are categorization of one side of the transversal and another side of the transversal. So here we want interior angles on the one side of the transversal, means out of interior angles 3, 4, 5 and 6. So we have to take the interior angles on the one side of the transversal. So what are those? Here in this side we have 4 and 5, and in this side we have 3 and 6. So those two pairs are the interior angles on the one side of the transversal. So let us take those. So here one side of the transversal, this side of the transversal we have 4 and 5. So 4 and 5 are the interior angles on the one side. 4 and angle 4 and angle 5, and another one is the angle 3 and angle 6. Angle 3 and angle 6. Yes. So these are the categorization of all the types of angles in this case of transversal. Here I am not taking any parallel lines. So here it is a intersecting type of lines it is. So here in this case there are 8 angles formed here. So also we have some of the categorization, that is interior angles, exterior angles, and also we have another way is corresponding angles, alternate interior angles, alternate exterior angles, and interior angles on the one side of the transversal. So from the use of these angles, so we have some of the axioms, we have some of the theorems. So when we take only the parallel lines here, so let us take some of the axioms and some of the theorems using these angles. So for that you have to know all these angles and you have to recognize these angles in any part of the problems. So let us ready for that. So we have to take parallel lines. Yes. So here we have a parallel lines. So it looks like similar to the last case, that is, so there we took the intersecting lines. Here I am taking non-intersecting line or parallel lines. So it doesn't intersect after extension of those two lines in the both sides. So here there are two lines here, two lines and a transversal. Those two lines are parallel lines. So I am naming these lines here. So here it is AB and here it is C. D. Here I am taking this line as P and Q. Yes. So here PQ transversal intersects two parallel lines AB and CD. So with the help of this, with the basis of this formation or this two parallel lines and a transversal, so we have some of the axiom based on all those angles, that is corresponding angles and alternate interior angles and alternate exterior angles and interior angles on the one side of the transversal. So we have some of the axioms and theorem. So let us take some of the axiom. So already axiom 6.1 and 6.2 is already completed. So let us take the next one. It is axiom 6.3. It is axiom 6.3. So we already know about axioms. Axiom is nothing but it's a statement we can easily accept as a true. It's always true. In any cases, we can take it as a true statement. So here in this case, a transversal intersects two parallel lines, means there are 8 angles formed. So let us name one by one. So here it is 1, here it is 2, here it is 3, and here it is 4. And I will take 5, and here I will take 6, here I will take 7, here I will take 8. So here just changes are there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, 8. So likewise just small changes are there. So here just observe, here 1 and 5 are the 1 and 5, 2 and 6, 3 and 7 and 4 and 8 are corresponding angles, and alternate in case of alternate interior angles 4 and 6 and 3 and 5 are alternate interior angles. Then 1 and 7 and 2 and 8 are alternate exterior angles. Then so interior angles on the one side of the transversal means 4 and 5 and 3 and 6. We have these kinds of angles, these categorization of angles. So with the help of those one, we have to state some axiom. That is, here a transversal intersects two parallel lines, then corresponding angles are equal. So only in the case of parallel lines, there is no any in the case of non-parallel lines or intersecting lines. So only in the case of parallel line, that is a transversal intersects parallel line only parallel lines. So then corresponding angles are equal. That means 1 is equal to 5, 2 is equal to 6, 3 is equal to 7 and 4 is equal to 8, like that. So what is the statement of axiom 6.3? A transversal intersects two parallel lines, then their corresponding angles are equal. Yes. So what are those corresponding angles are there here? 1 is equal to 5. So one pair 1 is equal to 5 and second pair is 2 is equal to 6. Angle 2 is equal to angle 6 and here angle 3 is equal to angle 7. Angle 3 is equal to angle 7. Then finally angle 4 is equal to angle 8. Angle 4 is equal to angle 8. That means here when a transversal intersects two parallel lines, only in the case of parallel lines, so their corresponding angles are equal. So there are 4 pairs of corresponding angles are there. So those pairs of corresponding angles are same. So here 1 is equal to 5, 2 is equal to 6, 3 is equal to 7 and 4 is equal to 8 here. So here it is axiom 6.3. So let us take axiom 6.4. It's a converse of this axiom 6.3. So here it is tells about corresponding angles. So that's why we are calling it as this axiom is a corresponding angles axiom. So this axiom this axiom is known as corresponding angles axiom. Corresponding angles axiom. Corresponding angles axiom. So likewise we have axiom 6.4. Axiom 6.4 is known as converse of corresponding angles axiom. So let us take axiom 6.4. Axiom 6.4. So also we call it as a converse of corresponding angles axiom. Corresponding angles axiom. So here corresponding angles axiom. So here we know about a transversal intersect two parallel lines, then corresponding angles are equal. So it's a completely opposite. We have to completely take the converse. So completely we have to reverse the order. That means here when the corresponding angles are equal, so then a transversal must intersect two parallel lines only. So we have to convert that one. So here in this case, firstly we have to start with when a transversal intersects two lines. I am not taking parallel lines. So two lines there such that corresponding angles are equal means those two lines are parallel. That means here it is in this case, firstly we have to take those two lines, that is AB and CD is non-parallel lines, it is intersecting points, intersecting lines. When the corresponding angles are equal, so then those two lines we have to consider it as a parallel lines only. So this is the statement of axiom 6.4. So what is the statement of that one? So a transversal intersects two lines such that their corresponding angles equal. Corresponding angles are equal, then those two lines are parallel. Those two lines are parallel. So this is the converse of corresponding angles axiom. So here it is, when a transversal intersects two parallel lines, then their corresponding angles are equal. When a transversal intersects two lines such that their corresponding angles are equal means those two lines are parallel only. So this is about some of the axioms related to the one of the categorization of angles when we are taken a transversal and a parallel lines here. So I hope you enjoyed this part. Those who are watching this video for the first time, please subscribe our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. You can get the notification very easily. So thank you one and all. Be safe and stay home. Thank you.